Want to have some fun?
Chances are, with your lagna lord in the 5th house, you just might be ready for fun at any moment.
Welcome back to our channel, Atma Occult. Today, we will be covering some of our observations for anyone with their lagna lord in the 5th house of their astrological birth chart. Before we dive in, if you want to know more about your own birth chart, be sure to check out our essential chart overview. This simple consultation gives you a foundational understanding of your life path as a whole through the lens of classical Vedic astrology.
This video will apply to you if the lord of your ascendant sign goes to the 5th house from the ascendant, or if the lord of your moon sign goes to the 5th house from the moon.
So remember, in Vedic astrology, the lagna or ascendant lord is a pivotal planet representing the self, vitality, and your overall life path.
When the lagna lord is placed in the 5th house, it influences the native's life through the themes associated with the 5th house. These can include discernment, the use of mantras, learning and teaching, students and children, creativity and procreativity, fun and spontaneity, Ishta Devata, that's your chosen deity, yantras, previous life's good karma, grandfather, as well as publishing and performing arts.
With your lagna lord placed in the 5th house, there are a lot of potential positives you may experience. The first one is you probably have an enhanced intelligence and enhanced creativity. The 5th house is a house of intellect, known as buddhi in Sanskrit, as well as creative expression. The presence of the lagna lord here often blesses the native with a flair for learning or artistic pursuits. You may excel in fields such as publishing, teaching, arts, or anything requiring innovation and a creative spirit. This placement strengthens your ability to make wise decisions and express yourself effectively.
This placement of the lagna lord in the 5th house can also increase your spiritual inclinations. The 5th house is often referred to as the Purva Punya Bhava, or the house of merits from a previous life. The lagna lord in this house, in a good condition, suggests that you may be reaping the benefits of good deeds from previous incarnations, which may manifest as luck, wisdom, or spiritual growth. You may have an inclination toward spiritual practices like mantra meditation, or you may be interested in studying sacred texts. The classical text Paladipika actually states that knowledge of the Vedas is imparted from the 5th house. In a less spiritual context, this can simply mean knowledge or education in general.
Another positive is you will probably have success in speculative ventures. The 5th house rules speculation, including investments or gambling. The lagna lord here can give you an intuitive knack for taking calculated risks, which end up having a successful outcome. Paladipika also states that knowledge of the future also comes from the 5th house. Under the right conditions, this placement can create successful investors or even professional gamblers.
Another positive that this placement can impart is a charismatic and fun personality. Having the lagna lord placed in the 5th house can infuse your personality with charisma, charm, and spontaneity. Remember, the original 5th house of the primordial zodiac is the sign of Leo, so even if your lagna lord is not in Leo, you may embody stereotypically Leo traits. This can make you a natural performer who enjoys being in the spotlight especially in fields like entertainment, education, or public speaking. People with this placement are often fun to be around in general and well-liked by others.
So there are also some potential negatives with your lagna lord placed in the 5th house. One potential negative is some challenges regarding children. Brihat Parashara Hora Shastra states, if the ascendant lord is in the 5th, the native will have mediocre progenic happiness. This placement can indicate negative experiences in matters related to children. This could possibly be some delays in childbirth, strained relationships with children, or children suffering from health issues. These negative effects are especially possible if the lagna lord is negatively afflicted in the 5th house.
Another potential negative that this placement can cause is speculative losses. The 5th house governs speculation, and an afflicted lagna lord here can indicate losses in speculative ventures like gambling, stock markets, or risky investments. This native could take impulsive risks, leading to financial instability. This will especially be the case if the 5th lord goes to the 12th house of loss and expenses.
Another thing we've noticed is there could be a distraction from your responsibilities. The 5th house focuses on creativity and fun, and that can sometimes distract the native from practical or worldly duties. After all, the 5th house is the 8th from the 10th, meaning that it can signify the death of one's career. It's also the 12th from the 6th, meaning that it can signify escaping from daily responsibilities. If the lagna lord is weak here, the native may struggle to balance creative pursuits with daily obligations.
So now that we know what the potential effects of this placement can be, how do we know when these effects will be most pronounced? Because this is the placement of your lagna lord, these effects will take place throughout your entire life to some degree or another. However, these effects will be most pronounced during the major time periods, mahadashas, or sub-periods, antardashas, of the lagna lord.
Another thing to take into consideration is the sign placement. The sign in which the lagna lord sits will also shape its expression. For example, a Pisces lagna would have Jupiter in its exaltation sign of Cancer in the 5th house. This may enhance intelligence, creativity, and spiritual wisdom, and many of the other positive things we've noted about this placement. But for a Cancer lagna native, the moon would be debilitated in the sign of Scorpio in the 5th house. And this would have a negative impact on 5th house matters. So that could be potentially indicating losses through speculation or difficulties with children, like we mentioned before.
So what are our tips to maximize the potential positives and mitigate the potential negatives of this placement? Our first tip is to pursue careers which require creativity or speculative abilities. This can include performing arts, teaching, publishing, investing, or advising. Your lagna lord in the 5th house will give you an ability to find success in these areas more easily than others. Our second tip is to experiment with mantras. The lagna lord placed in the 5th house shows that you're carrying positive karma from a previous birth into this lifetime. The 5th house is the natural house of mantra chanting, which will activate this positive karma and enhance the positive aspects of this placement. Our final tip is to focus on 1st house matters. The 1st house is the 9th from the 5th, so engaging in 1st house related activities will increase the good fortune of 5th house matters in your life. The 1st house governs yourself, physical body, head, and appearance. So when you engage in activities like physical exercise, getting a head massage, or managing your appearance, it will help you mitigate any of the potentially negative outcomes which can be related to the lagna lord being placed in the 5th house and amplify positive results.
So there you have it. These were our tips for anyone with their lagna lord placed in the 5th house. If you have not already, be sure to subscribe to our channel. Leave us a like or a comment below to let us know your thoughts. Also, be sure to check out our essential chart overview if you have not gotten a reading from us yet. Thanks for watching.